Mornings when the garden is quiet and the mist clings to the run, I like to give my hens something really nice for them to feed on. It not only feeds their body, but it also shows a little love. Over the years, I've learned this simple kitchen staple like oats and crushed eggshells can be even more powerful than many people realize. Not only do they help keep my flock healthy and laying strong, but they also turn food waste into something really nourishing. And this is a win-win in any backyard. Now stick with me until the end and I'll show you exactly how and why I use these two simple ingredients and the one mistake you should never make with eggshells. Now, oats are full of carbohydrates, meaning that your chickens get a steady release of energy throughout the day, and this is especially helpful during the colder months when they burn more calories than staying warm. Oats are also great for their digestive health because they contain soluble fiber, which can help support digestion. I've seen firsthand how helpful oats can be for hens that are recovering from stress or even just needing a gentle, nourishing boost. They're also an amazing comfort food in cold weather as well. Now, I remember that last winter when one of my older hens was looking tired and ragged from molting. A few bowls of oats later, she was scratching and pecking with the young girls again. Now, before we begin, just a little bit of a word of caution. Don't feed a lot of raw dry oats in large amounts daily, because what happens here if you feed it to them daily is that it can swell in the crop and cause issues. So always try to feed them a small amount of dry rolled oats, as I have done here, or you can always try to hydrate it or mix it with other foods if serving more. So why do I add crushed eggshells to the mix? Now for the ingredient that every egg laying hen needs, and you probably throw it away: crushed eggshells. So why are they important for chickens? They're an essential calcium source, because once the chicken starts to lay an egg every day, this takes a huge amount of calcium from her. If hens don't get enough calcium, their body will pull calcium from their bones, leading to brittle bones, poor laying, and even egg binding as well. It also prevents soft-shelled or shellless eggs as well. Now, I learned this the hard way because a few years back, I had a hen laying a shellless egg, and she looked absolutely miserable, you could imagine. It turns out I had been too light on the calcium, and I always tried to up the calcium levels since that day. They're also a zero-weight natural supplement, so instead of buying expensive oyster shells all the time, what I do is I just simply recycle the hen's own eggshells, but I bake it and I crush it, and then this is an amazing way to boost that calcium, and it also turns waste into wellness. So here's how I prepare it safely. I start off by rinsing the shells, and I bake for 180 Celsius for 10 minutes. This really helps to sanitize the eggshells. Then I go ahead and I crush finely with a rolling pin or even a mortar and pestle, and I store in a jar until ready to mix into a feed. Now, one thing here, never ever feed raw unbaked eggshells, because chickens can recognize eggs as food and begin egg eating as well. So I also actually enjoy the rhythm of saving eggshells, baking them once a week, seeing the cycle continue. It's like giving my girls back what they gave me. So how do I serve this mix? How do I combine the oats and the crushed eggshells into a nourishing bowl of goodness, especially in winter after molding or when egg production dips as well? So I usually give them just a handful of raw oats. As you can see here, rolled oats, a handful of them in the morning. I don't do that every single day. I do that once or twice a week, and this really helps as well. And then I just try to coarsely crush the eggshells and give it to them after baking them. Also, on occasion, I give them warm morning oatmeal bowl, and this is their absolute favorite. Now, I've not done this in that video, but I do have a couple of videos where I show you how I do that. So I add 1 cup of rolled or quick oats to a bowl. I pour over warm water until the oats are soft and then slightly cooled, and then I mix in 1 or 2 tablespoons of crushed eggshells. Sometimes if I have on hand any sort of chopped greens like spinach, parsley, silver beet, and then as an option, if I do have it on hand, I would add a tablespoon of plain yogurt or a sprinkle of flaxseed or any other seeds that I have on hand, and then you can serve fresh in a low dish, or you can do what I've done. You scatter small spoonfuls around the run for a natural foraging fun as well. Also, you can do a dry scatter mix, which what I've done here right now. So I mix half a cup of dry oats with 1 tablespoon of crushed eggshells, and then I scatter lightly over dry ground. And this really helps as well, and I use the dry version when I want to keep them busy scratching in the run while I clean the coop, which is a double win. Now, with that being said, let's talk about some of the results that I've seen and when not to overdo it. Because offering oats and eggshells regularly, it might be the easier option, especially during the colder months, but you don't want to do it every single day. Now, what is the benefits to this? Benefits that I've personally noticed is that stronger, more consistent eggshells, brighter energy and mood for the little chicks as well, and the chickens, the better feather condition during the molt and more activity even on cold mornings. And one of my girls who usually takes laying breaks in winter started also laying strong this season with this boost and with this change as well. And when to use it in moderation, there's a couple of 3 things that I want you to know before you start using it. First of all, don't feed oats, because too many carbs can lead to weight gain, and also it swells up if it's dry oats as well. This mix should be a supplement, never as a replacement to quality layer feed, and it's also ideally to be used 2 to 3 times a week as a treat or as a energy boost. Now, I want you to go ahead and skip oats altogether if you notice that your flock is already overweight or eating less layer feed. They need that complete balance first before anything else as well. So there are so many backyard chicken keepers overthink their feed, when sometimes the simplest pantry ingredients are the most powerful. Oats and eggshells, this is a wonderful, humble combination that's helped my flock stay stronger, lay better, and thrive throughout the year. Let me know in the comments, have you ever tried this combo, and what is your favorite homemade mixes for your flock? And like this video if it gave you new ideas, and subscribe for weekly backyard chicken keeping tips, and grab my free oats and eggshells treat recipe printable below. Thank you for watching till the end. I'm Nora, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day.